Welcome to VEROHive and the Power Hour with Alan Goldberg and his crew. My name is Don Warner from WarnerEntertainment.com. We encourage you to visit us at our website and see over 4,000 different martial arts media products, including videos, DVDs, books, and lots more. That's www.warnerentertainment.com, spelled www.warrener.entertainment.com. And thank you very much.
All right, welcome to the Action Martial Arts Power Hour. This is Alan Goldberg's brainchild. And before I'm not going to even get into things. I'm just going to bring him on so he can talk about what we have going on here. Alan, it's your show. Talk about it.
Welcome to the Power Hour. How's everyone doing tonight? We got some other guests come on. We're waiting for right now, but we decided to start the show because we have Master Trina Pellegrini is going to be doing some cooking for us, so we don't want her waiting too long. So we wanted to get the show started, whatever. And we got our buddy Vinny's on the show again. We'll make Vinny our every once in a while we'll get Vinny on. He's our California rep, and just to bring some fun to the show. So and John is out shopping right now, so we can't have John Pellegrini on anyway. But anyway, let's get going here. We're going to talk about a few other things tonight. We're sponsored, you also know, by VEROHive and Action Martial Art Magazine and Warrior Magazine by Don Warner, Warner Entertainment. And some great products, so you get a chance, WarnerEntertainment.com. So, Vinny, you got anything to say before we get going with Trina?
No, I got Trina's cooking, but I don't understand. If John's out getting the stuff, how are you going to cook? What are you going to cook? What are you warming up the pans?
She's making food for the whole week.
Trina on. Trina, you're on. Let's just make it all happen now.
You know, I sent him out to get stuff that I'm going to be making after this.
Okay.
Everything you're making now is going to be cold by the time he comes in. I mean, I got to do it together, no?
No, he's already eaten. I'm doing my cooking show. This is going to be tomorrow's food.
This is the special. Okay. This is the special.
As people know, Trina, she's on a lot of times with the show. She's on a lot of times with the show. But she's going to cook something special. What are you going to be cooking tonight, Trina?
So tonight I'm going to cook broccoli cheese soup, and I ran out of cheese, so I actually have some Mexican cheese, and I have some cheddar cheese, and I have some mozzarella cheese, and the secret is ricotta at the end.
Nice.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, we don't want to wait too long because I know you have a lot to do tonight. You're cooking for about 35 people, I heard. So let's get you going now. Get you going with this.
Okay, so I'm going to hopefully put this down because this is my laptop. So I'm going to put it down like this. You guys don't need to see me. All right, and we're going to make this like super quick because that's what cooking is about, being quick and good. So extra virgin olive oil in the pan on the bottom. And we're going to throw in onions. And by the way, I've already pre-chopped up everything, so we don't have to do all of that. So we're going to sweat this down a little bit. Have you guys ever made broccoli cheese soup? So I'm making this dish for my Cooking Up Murder show, and I thought I would give you guys a little preview of that if you're interested. So, yes, Cooking Up Murder. So I do a cooking show, Vinny, where I cook and I tell a true crime story.
It's okay. 7 years is old.
So this will be like super quick and condensed because I want you guys to watch the show. I'm going to put the butter in. And I'm Later. Off camera. All right.
Melt the arsenic nice. You know, if you don't want them to taste it,
You
they gotta
understand
blend
her
in.
show is murder is just the title. It's not for real.
Yeah, I don't
Penny,
really.
it's not for real.
I thought Alan said this was we were going to go under a theme today, of killing people. It was 100 people we started with.
So
All right.
I guess we gotta bring on Hillary next. I don't know. What are we doing?
Right. So once your butter is melted in your onions, you're going to put in about 1/4 cup of flour, and that's going to thicken up your base, and that's what gives you your beautiful thick, cheesy taste. All right. After we do that, it's going to look like this, which is fine. We're going to put in our carrots. See how quick this goes? And then we're going to put in our liquid. We have 2 cups of whole milk and 2 cups of chicken broth. And that's going to go in. And that is going to thicken up for a minute. And I'm going to move the camera back on me and tell you a quick story. Okay. So when I do my show, I have a camera over the food and a camera on me. So the story that I'm doing this week is the Slender Man stabbing. And that is the story of 2 young ladies in Waukesha, Wisconsin. They were 12 years old when they decided that they were going to kill their best friend so that they could get into the house, the big, beautiful mansion in the Nicolo National Park in Wisconsin that Slender Man lived in. If you don't know who Slender Man is, he is a fictional person that was on Creepypasta Wiki, and they became absolutely fascinated with him. So they cooked
A movie about that was Slender Man.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, Michael did a movie. Got to be about 5 years ago.
Okay, well, I'll have to look it up because I didn't know anything about Slender Man until I saw this story. And this is the really bad part. I lived about 30-40 minutes from Waukesha when this happened.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's not good. Maybe good for the show, but not when it happened.
So these 2 young ladies hatch up a plot, and they had a birthday party and invited this girl over named Peyton. And they have the birthday party. They'll go skating. They have a great time. They lure her into the woods the next day, and under the guise of playing hide and seek. And they, one of the girls, Anissa, gives a knife, a kitchen knife, something like this. Not a little knife, a big knife, to gives the knife to the other girl, Morgan, and she runs over, she jumps on top of this girl, Peyton, and stabs her 19 times to kill her. And thankfully they didn't. They were caught about 5 hours later, and Morgan got 40 years in jail. They were tried as adults. So Morgan got 40 years and Anissa got 25 years to life. So that is just a very quick synopsis of my story that's going to go up tomorrow while we were waiting for this to boil. So back over here, this is boiling now. We're going to add in our broccoli. And I'm using a very small pan, but that's okay.
So my wife made phenomenal chicken soup last week, so I was happy too. So you got the cheese soup
Yes.
and
And you got the chicken noodle.
chicken noodle, no, chicken and rice.
Chicken and rice.
It was excellent. They did a great job the first time.
You know, soup is really a beautiful comfort food. I just absolutely love soup, and it's so easy to make. So I don't know if Lewis has a counter going on or anything, but apart from the salt, pepper, I put cayenne pepper in mine. Apart from anything else, all you have to do now is let the soup cook for about 20 minutes and it's done. So,
Cool.
because I have made some before, this is what it looks like in the end.
All right.
What are you gonna do? All right, Trina, we don't want to hold you anymore. I know you got some other stuff to do. Give
Yes.
John our love when he gets back in, and tell him that we were asking for him. And I know you're gonna make some videos up of some other dishes. It might take a little longer next time. We'd love that. You're gonna send to Lou, so we'd really appreciate that. So now we got. Now we're going back, and anything last to say?
Yeah, Trina, before you go, give your website, give your information so people know, and your YouTube channel so people know about what you're doing.
So I have a YouTube channel for Cooking Up Murder, where I teach you how to cook, but I also, to keep your interest, tell you a true crime story. I do a lot of research into these true crime stories because I always feel that victims need to have their story told and they need to be remembered. So I do a pretty intense cooking session while I'm telling these stories. The one that I did earlier, probably going to be about a 45-minute story. I give you guys the Cliff Note version. So that's on YouTube, Cooking Up Murder. I'm on Facebook, Cooking Up Murder. But again, you can find me on Facebook. I am the only Trina Pellegrini in the world on Facebook. So
Look at that. Just look at how special you are. My God. That's good stuff. See, John hit the jackpot, I think.
He did.
I know. And that's why he's out there raking the leaves, shoveling the snow. He's doing whatever he's doing over there to make sure you're happy. Yes, you rake it.
Trina, thank you very much. We always love to have you on. And again, give John our regards and our love. And we'll speak to you soon, okay?
Thank you, everybody.
All right, Trina, I'm going to let you out of the room. And make sure you reach out to me, okay? All right, thanks again. What'd you say, Vinny?
Hey, Trina, if we come over for dinner, we're making John. If we come over for dinner, you're gonna taste before us with that murder stuff. You taste, then we'll eat after. You cook, you taste, and we eat. Okay, just want to be clear. Don't think that I'm shy. I'm just gonna wait for you to eat first. Anything that you cook, I'm just saying.
The book I told you about. Don't read that online.
I won't.
No.
I won't.
No. Too many familiar
When
faces.
she says put a leg bone, when she says put a leg bone, she doesn't mean an actual leg. Okay, it's a
Like an animal leg bone.
Yeah.
yes.
Oh,
Thank God.
Lord.
It shouldn't have a kneecap. It should not have a kneecap when it goes in the soup.
or knuckles.
Knuckles. Oh, man.
I could
Oh,
freak
Lord.
you guys out with some stuff. Boy, I could freak you guys out with some stuff.
I bet you can, but we don't have time for that because you got things to do, Trina.
Listen, Trina, they're canceling everyone online now. Trump got canceled. This got canceled. That got canceled. Even the guy that made the pillows got canceled.
I
So
know.
we got to watch what we say.
I know.
But you know what the funny thing is? It's okay to do stock promotion on Reddit and make stocks go through the roof. Okay, that's a story for a different day. You talk about, something that doesn't seem too legal to me.
I just saw it today with the GameStop.
GameStop with Bed Bath and Beyond, and all these companies, and even AMC theaters that's brinkering on bankruptcy. All of a sudden, the stock goes up, 200%, 300%. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah, but someone's going to get hurt on those.
Oh, you're going to have all the little investors that are going to get fried because the big shorts are just waiting. When you have unlimited capital in front of you, just wait. Then you hit, and then you're going to feel it. You know, but the SEC should step in. The authorities should step in and investigate that.
That's okay for them.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is okay,
Anyway,
but not okay for everyone else. Anyway, Trina, enjoy your show. I'm going to let you out, okay? Okay, Vinny,
Bye,
say goodbye,
everybody.
Vinny. Say goodbye.
Hi, Trina.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Hey, there he goes. All right. Well, I'm sorry the other guys didn't get on tonight. We had Dennis Warren and Tom Laverne and Al Camacho, who still may come on. He was on his mobile and he was trying to get home to get to his computer. So let's hope we get on. But if they're not on today, we'll get them on another time. You know, we got a lot of great things. I got a question since we're talking, you know, about martial law. We're talking about cooking tonight, and we're talking about mafia and the killings and whatever else. But we're talking about us tonight with the martial arts.
Just so it ain't all murder. Here, I got a little cross.
There you go, Vinny.
Yeah.
What keeps you in this time of trouble that we're in, and all this craziness? What keeps you motivated and to stay strong within the martial arts? I don't know if you saw the post I put up, and I put up some new posts tonight about the event for 2022, and I put it. I'm donating the name, COVID-19 kicking to the curb. You know, we got to get over this crap. So that's keeping me motivated. And the amazing thing is, this would be the weekend tonight. Tonight I'd be leaving for Atlantic City. All right. And you know, it's depressing in the sense that nobody's going to be there. No, you know, even the hotel is like they're doing so bad. I spoke to them today. But you know, we have to stand through this. I have to tell you, I did get my first shot. Okay. Some people said I was crazy, but you know what they said? 35 million people got the shot already. I didn't grow another arm, so I'm okay so far.
But you know, the funny thing is with the shot, that you have everyone they're getting the vaccine. You have countries that are getting the vaccine. Australia has 6 times, like every person, every living creature, every living human being in Australia, they have enough shots to give them it 6 times each. But then you have poor countries like Latin America and Africa, they have nothing.
Yeah.
You know, where's the humanity there? Where's the Bill Gates? Where's the Matt Damons? Where are they? The Leonardo DiCaprios, where are they?
Humanity works when they're getting paid. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
They give money away because they want to be noticed. It's the guys that don't talk about it that just give money away, the ones that we're excited to know about what we finally do. But these other guys, they're just looking to get on there and you know. And there goes. There's Dennis. There he goes.
Yeah.
Dennis showed up. All right.
There he goes. All right. But so as I said, this would have been our 21st anniversary. We would have started our weekend off. We would have had a great time. But the reaction I got, I put up a poster 4 days ago. Okay. And ironically, my artist who does my poster just told me today he came down with COVID-19. Isn't that weird? And, you know, I just told him, you know, don't do any more work. Take it easy. He did 2 posters for me already. But I'm hoping he'll be all right. But, you know, this would have been our 21st anniversary. I put the poster up for our next 21st anniversary, which I'm going to 21 and a half, which will be next year, 22. And basically, I got such response. I've got in 2 days, actually, I got over 300 people liked it, said it, and probably close to 100 people shared the poster. Okay? So there's so much anticipation already, and it's a year away now. Think about this. We got a year away. But I don't only attribute to what I do, okay, and my guests that attribute to where my question is going next is what keeps you motivated? What's keeping me motivated right now, believe it or not, is the year away event that's coming up. I have to be. It's the only thing I have. You know, what do I think about the dead time? Now, of course, my family and my grandchildren and whatever else keeps me motivated. But as a business person and what I do in the martial art world, what keeps me motivated is my event. So I'm just going back to the question now. So, Vinny, what keeps you motivated?
everybody that's not in power, we're like a cork on an ocean or a stream going down. We're all going the same place. They're bouncing us around with every decision that they do. We don't have a choice in that, but we do have a choice in what we do every day in our personal training and how we conduct our everyday life in our micro little cosm that we have, which is everybody stay calm, everybody help one another, all the students stay in contact. I work with the food banks. You might have seen some of the stuff I posted. We've got families of the future soldiers and families of the poolies. These are families where the kids signed up and they don't ship out for another year or two, but they don't have anything. They don't have any food. They don't have anything. So we go to the food bank, and then the sergeants all come here. We load up all these families. And like what I found, believe it or not, is the more that you give, you got this much more gratifying feeling because so many people have nothing. I feel totally blessed that I have the friends that I have, and that I'm healthy and strong, and I have my school still. I still train because I have a private dojo, so I don't have to stop. And the motivation is that the martial arts took such a hit. It took such a hit. So many guys, like 90% of the schools are down. So when it comes back, the guys who can hang in there and stay in there, they're going to do pretty good when it comes back around. But if you hear guys talk about, oh, I'm a warrior, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. And then when the shit gets hard, you see them fall. Well, right now, the shit is hard. So right now is when you should be showing, that thing that you always claim that you are. So that's what motivates me to keep. I mean, when you come from the neighborhood, right out, you come from the street, it's hard. You got to get out of the street. Okay, so you get squirrels every once in a while. That's okay. That's what life is about. Little time. You got to be able to deal with it. And my students keep me motivated. That's what keeps me motivated.
Times you fail is how many times you get back up and try again. So, what we do in our lives right now, and not even, martial arts become so embedded into your body. I mean, we lifelong martial artists, we don't know anything else. I mean, we do know other things. We have other talents. But the real truth about it is, the fiber that we're made of is 90% martial arts. Again, we have our families and our loved ones and whatever we do. But martial arts gets so embedded in your head and what you do. I mean, it's an old saying. They said, men think of sex every 7 seconds. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm a little weird, but I think of martial arts a lot too. So who knows? I try to look at my martial art career. What's the next step? Now, ironically, in the last week or two of me, all these wonderful things started to happen. And I realized it's not me only. It's not because they came to me. Maybe I'm a good focal point for people to talk to because I do have a lot of connections in different parts, different industries. But I mean, I've got new magazine coming out called Wing Chun. I've got shows. I did radio shows. I'm doing TV interviews. I'm doing all these crazy things. I've got movies set up like this. And I see that energy is there. And when we're able to lift that cap up, guys like, us are all going to, shoot through the roof because we held out. Like you said, the warrior thing. I never consider myself a warrior. I consider myself a martial artist, and someone else has to consider you to be a warrior. You can't tell people you're a warrior. Just like you can't you can't. I don't want to get personal with people, but out there, you're sitting out there watching the show. You can't call yourself a grandmaster. You can't call yourself a supreme grandmaster. You have to be given the title by somebody. And someone who's reputable. Me, that's one reason I only use the title Sifu, because I'll give you a quick story. I'm doing a new magazine with Warner Entertainment of the Warriors called Wing Chun Kung Fu. Okay? And I've already picked 5 other people to be in the magazine. And we're setting up the whole thing now. And it should be very interesting. I was asked to be the 6th person, of course, as also co-publisher, to be on the cover of the magazine. And I'm a funny guy. I said, okay. I said, may I put my instructor on instead? And the guy goes, well. I said, it doesn't matter to me. I says, he's still alive. He's still there. He's still someone I'm close to. That I do my, maybe once every couple of weeks phone call, and we talk for a while. And we're also doing a story on our lives and stuff like that. So I says, for me to do the cover and then have my instructor in the magazine too, it'd be insulting. So when I said it to him, he goes, no, we do the cover together. And I go, now we can't do that because we can't do photography. He's in Georgia. I'm in New York. It's a hard thing to do, especially with the COVID now. So I said, Steve, don't worry about it. We'll do something. We'll show some old pictures from the old days, you and me together. But I want the cover to be on you. And a lot of people look at me and say, well, you shot to be on the cover of the magazine. I said, I've had shots to be on Black Belt magazine. I didn't take it. I've had shots to be involved with Inside Kung Fu. I mean, you know, I was lucky enough that I was Black Belt magazine Hall of Fame. But, you know, had a nice story did about me. They gave me a beautiful award, the ceremony and all. But when they asked me to do the cover, I just thought, I'll get to it. I never did, but now there's new owners. But, you know, sometimes you have to think of the respect factor. And what I said about being motivated, okay, my motivation is to keep my Wing Chun going, and my instructor is part of that whole deal. You know, I would not be who I am, where I am, unless I had my instructor smack me in my head when I was younger. You know, and you know, Brooklyn was a rough place back in the 70s. Okay, there's still some rough joints there, but we had a rough time when we lived in Flatbush, and we had some wild times. You know, wild times. Now, Vinny, you were from the Bronx, right? Okay. All right. So
My father died. They cremated him. He said, Vinny, one of the things I want you to do is I want you to take my ashes back to the neighborhood, and I want you to throw my ashes in the neighborhood. I called my mother. I says, Mom, I'm standing on the corner 187 in Belmont, and the building's not here no more. It's an empty parking lot with a chain fence. And my mother goes, what do you want? Your father wanted. I threw the freaking ashes over the fence. I hear, Pop, you're home. Oh, fuck, you're home. Right in the middle of a parking lot, right on the cement. That's where he used to shine shoes in front of the Mount Carmel Church, my father. but I mean, this warrior versus civilian life. A civilian life, these guys, like, everything is safe and this way and that way. And a warrior life doesn't lead. You don't lead like that. We lead by faith, and we lead a life of trying to help everybody, protect everybody. It's a certain mindset. That's what I'm talking about. Lack of from the civilian mindset. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? They're just completely different mindset. And you know, I was raised around men of men from, like, with our friends, and these guys taught you respect from the street. And the minute that you, like, half the stuff that you see these guys keyboard up about right now, you've been knocked out 100 times. You've been smacked in the mouth so many times. You could never get away with saying those things to a real man if you were in front of him, ever. But, you know, we're in that society today.
T-shirt this year for my event, and I love the saying. It went like, if you stand beside me, you are my brother warrior. If you stand behind me, you deserve to be protected. If you stand in front of me and come at me, no mercy. You know, and that's the way you have to live your life. I always tell people, I'll always be friends with someone or be, you know, close to people as long as you and I walk side by side. The minute you want to walk in front of me and push me in the back, and then we're not friends anymore, because we have to treat everyone equally. And I just saw so much. You know, a guy right now calling me, oh, could you give me a shout? And I won't call the guy because the guy turned out to be a rat. And I don't mean that he did anything terrible, but his demeanor was not good. And things he said, not against me, but things that he said. I can't be involved with people like that. It's just not, you know, my mannerism. And, you know, Vinny, we don't know the too long, whatever, but, you know, I know you're a stand-up guy, so I respect you. Lou and I know each other a long time, and he's been there for me, and I've been there for him all the time. And we don't know any other way. That's really what it comes down to. So, you know, it's a rough thing. Lou, you know, you get into the conversation. What motivates you besides VEROHive right now? Okay, well, we hear you though. Okay.
that, I went out and taught a group of these, the last group that I did of future soldiers, and I asked them, there was probably about, what's that? And we're teaching about 70 of these kids, and I asked them, how many of you have ever taken any kind of organized martial arts at all? And one put up their hand. They were about 17 and 18-year-old kids, about 70 of them. Only one had taken a martial arts class. Now, you go back to the 90s, to the early 2000s, to the 80s, and ask 70 kids how many of them in martial arts. You get 69 of them in martial arts. One wasn't in martial arts. That tells you just how much is not out there anymore.
I was in college, got to be like 1978. I had taken a class, it said a martial art class, and I was already into martial arts. But I took the class because it sounded interesting. It was Shotokan Karate, which I did study some at my beginning of my career. And there was a gentleman called Maynard Miner. Okay. He was one of the first black men to ever get a black belt in Shotokan, legitimately. Old timer right now. He had a stroke a couple of years ago, but he's still around. But what a wonderful man, and guy was sharp, unbelievable. Now, he was the type of guy that didn't go with the crowd, whatever, but he was very highly respected. And I took his class. And when I walked in the class there had to be almost 200 people going to the class. So you see that. You don't see that no more. You do maybe in the kiddie class, you may see it now. But to me, like a lot of people say, it's just like, I don't know, like a daycare center, and the real martial art aspects have left a lot in our lives. Back in the 70s and 80s, you did martial arts. Now, I will say a lot of it wasn't, up to par with what tradition was. But guys were out there, and I called a lot of it ghetto martial arts because, I lived in the ghetto too, and we just did martial arts where we could do it, And, we just looked at things a little differently at the time. But, the one gentleman I was saying, Maynard Miner, a lot of people in the Shotokan martial arts would know who he is. I didn't see him for close to 40 years. And I walked into his school one day, and he looked at me, and he goes, "How you been, Alan?" And I looked at him like, "How do you remember my name after 40 years?" I was in a class, and it was like a year class, whatever. But I became a little bit of help with him, and the guy just remembered everything. And I looked completely different than I did when I was then. I had hair down to here, but whatever. So it was warm to the heart to him saying that. So it was, very warm. But we're going to close up in a few minutes, but I want to say a few things. We had Dennis Warner coming on. I hope he's able to get back in again, but Dennis is working on the channel right now, with the martial art channel, which will be called Action Martial Art channel. And hopefully that will be up in about another month, a month and a half. I know there's a lot of other stuff going on in that type of industry. There's some great things. We just had Pierre Neon last week, and Pierre is also a Shotokan man, Chinese Shotokan. He's doing a new magazine, or I'd say an upkeep of his old magazine, and it'll be Martial Art Warrior magazine. That'll be coming out soon, and I'm enough that I'm on the cover of that. So there's some great things happening out there for a lot of people. And I was just speaking to Toby Milroy. I don't know if anyone knows who that is. Toby is within the business end of the martial arts, and they're doing a whole thing on my event. So like I said before, there's a lot of stuff going on. Maybe that's why I'm a little excited and motivated. A lot of things are good happening to me. Even my regular business just started to take off again, and I'm getting calls again, which, believe me, when you're put in a position and, all of a sudden you're up here, next thing you're down to here, it's not a great feeling. So,
over here, they said Friday, today's Wednesday. So Friday night, all the restaurants are open, and you're allowed on Friday. They're opening up everything. You can dine inside. You know how that happened? Not no miracle cure. Governor Newsom saw the numbers. He was within 200,000 signatures of getting removed from office from getting recalled, and all of a sudden he waved the magic pen. Now everybody can open. Crazy what they did. It's a great.
And you know, even here in New York, we're still shut down. There are small portions opening up. Where my school is, we were hit in a red zone. And within that red zone, forget it. I mean, schools were closed, this was closed. They didn't want anything open. And now that I think they went to like a orange zone, whatever, like that, whatever. But I'll be honest with you, I don't know what the real answer is. A lot of people I know, like Dr. Bob, doesn't believe in the mask. He doesn't believe in the shots and stuff like that. But, you know, I was pressured by my family. You know, you're not going to see the grandkids. You're not going to see them unless I get myself shut up, if you want to say. And I wound
up this thing the second day when it came out. And then, by the way, he sent me the resume. And I said, how could you know where this thing came from so fast? How could you know that? And then when he sent me his resume, 1987, he was in charge of advanced research genetics at the Wunan laboratory. That's how he knew.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I think, yeah, I think Bob he'll probably be on next week's show with us, and he's been a big supporter of what we've done. Many people don't know I'm actually Dr. Bob was a black belt many years ago, but he was never involved with anything, and I'm actually the one that brought him in. He'll tell everyone I'm his mentor. I brought Dr. Bob back into the martial art world about 10 years ago. And he's made some great inroads with his, you know, people that he knows now, and everyone knows who Dr. Bob is. So, you know, it's a good feeling that we all help each other. So, you know, and he's a great guy. He does the right thing by people. Very generous man in his everything he does. So, Vinny, last words?
Just thanks again for having me on the show. I'm looking forward to the mega event. One of the things I've always wanted to do is teach a block at the mega event. I always wanted to do that. That was one of the things that motivated me. But that was doing that, being up there and because that's where the best of the best are going to be. And if you're there, you're in that zone. That's where you need to be, you know?
Any event all over the world, but you'll never see anything like what I do, you know? And I say I'm only able to do it with the help of my friends. That's really what it comes down to.
Where it was cold and shit. It was cold. Okay, I'd like a coat off and stay a little while. If I was in a gear, I'd like layered clothing on, man. He was like, take your coat off. Take your hat. Stay a little while at the convention. I was freezing, man. I'm not.
And we had Dennis Warren on for a little while there. But I want to say goodnight to everyone and thank you for your support. God bless. Keep kicking.